Piers, basically, I agree with a lot of what the president's done in recent years, but the tone of today's speech, I just thought was wrong. For instance, he's really declaring almost the end of the war against terrorism long before it's over. In many ways, Al-Qaeda is more dangerous now than it was prior to September 11th. For him to be stepping back and saying he's going to be somehow reducing the level of drone attacks, that he's going to be releasing more prisoners from Guantanamo, when already we've released basically anyone who could be released has been. What's held back now are the worst of the worst, and 30% of those that we've released up till now have come back against us. So I just think the tone of it was wrong. Also, Piers, maybe I'm saying this from a patriotic instinct or whatever, when I hear the President of the United States talk about torture, and his own men and women who really were sacrificing and doing what had to be done to protect us after 9/11, and to casually use a word like torture, that would be like someone saying the drone attacks are murder. In either event, it's wrong. It's the wrong terminology to use.
But part of the problem here is that many would argue, and I think they have a good point to this, that the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan have not been successful. All they've done in many ways is engender more extremism. They've become a hotbed of hatred towards America and its troops, and indeed towards Britain and its troops. The Guantanamo Bay, by keeping people in prison ad infinitum for a decade without any charges, goes completely against what America stands for. So many people think that the president actually is making the right statement here by saying we're fighting a different kind of terror. Declaring war on countries and invading them is clearly not the answer. Banging them up in Guantanamo Bay for years on end without any charge is not the answer. We have to do it a different way.
Okay, Piers, I missed part of what you said, but I think I got the tone of it. No, listen, I think, first of all, the war in Afghanistan was successful. We drove Al-Qaeda out, but it doesn't mean that we should be totally withdrawing the way we are. There's not going to be any easy war. And the war in Iraq, I think it was essential to establish that a country had to comply with UN inspections, which Iraq did not. It was essential at that time. In 2003, I believe the war was essential. And I think that if the president had just signed the Status of Forces Agreement, Iraq could have been a beacon for, if not a democracy, certainly for a more enlightened Muslim country in that part of the world. No, I don't think the president, I don't think we have any reason to be apologetic at all. For instance, Guantanamo. I've been to Guantanamo. Guantanamo is a model prison. Is it ideal? No, it's not. But we live in a very unideal world. And we had an enemy that attacked us on September 11th, is poised in many ways to attack us again, and to be sending more detainees back to Yemen, which is probably, if there's one area of the world right now where Al-Qaeda really is aggressive, it's coming out of Yemen. Again, the president overall, I think his policy overseas with drones and other methods has been successful, but I don't know why he's so apologetic, and I think that he's just somehow, maybe he wants to pander to the New York Times or somebody else. But to me, we have to do what we have to do, and I think the war against terrorism can be won, but we can't announce that it's over before it is over.